Hello, can you hear me? Oh. Hello. You can hear.
All good now. Okay, yay! All right. Okay, good. Okay, so I'll go back. I'll just repeat from the beginning, just to. Okay, good. Great. Okay, good, good. Okay, now I'm going back. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to start from the beginning. So again, let's plot your chart. And if you do want to ask questions, please refer to your day master. Please mention your day master first and then your question instead of giving me your birthday and your birth hour, because this would help me speed up the process in giving you forecast. So make sure that you do actually indicate your your day master, and then your question, so we can actually answer your questions direct to the point. Okay, so there. Okay, so we are going to discuss first the winter season. As you all know, that the entire year for 2020 is gang metal and Gen Z rather, wherein there's metal and water elements. So the fact that we're going into the winter season wherein the water element can be really strong, this can actually affect our emotions, the way we think. There are more people that are more emotional, and there are more people that are feeling more anxious, especially coming in December. Why in December? Primarily because Earth is the resource star of the water element. So Earth is the resource star of the metal element rather, and the metal element is the resource star of the water. So that actually means there's more water element coming in December. So if you have a horse in your BaZi chart, I'd like you to be aware that this month can be a little bit more erratic. The volatility in terms of your emotion can be really heightened. Or this can also mean that come December, there are much more typhoons coming in. Recently, we had the typhoon here in the Philippines, also in I think in Vietnam. So, which is why there are a lot of typhoons because of this season that's filled with water. So the fact that we're aware that because of this water element is something that's causing our emotional volatility, is something that gives us the edge that we can actually control this emotion. And my advice, if you have been meditating, continue in meditating. This is one way to help you clear your mind and allow you not to have this clouded judgment, especially when we're making decisions. So the reason why I keep on saying, or I keep on mentioning about you have to actually step away. Well, I know it's difficult, but you have to try to, wherein you have to look at your emotions in a distant perspective, because if you allow this to affect you, it definitely affects the way you make decision. And seriously, when we make decision when we're emotional, the effect or the decision is not something that we are proud of, and more often than not, we actually regret it in the end. Okay, so I hope I really can see the your chat. Just keep on chatting. So, or if you have any questions, just type in. I'll come back every now and then to check if you can still hear me. Okay, so anyway, let's go back. Okay, again, if you want to plot your chart, please do visit the QR code. And this is again your day master. And this is going to be the general information that we're going to give you for the rest of November to December 2020. Included in this forecast is the Feng Shui for November to December 2020. Okay, so for the wood, you may gain attention from the unconventional thought that you may actually share to others. Or this can also stem from that you may actually get attention from others because of your emotion. wherein you let your emotions or you share much of your feelings or your emotions to others, which would actually attract attention. So my advice, especially if you do not like unwanted attention, is to take control. Learn to control your emotions. It's best before you say something to count 1 to 10. Think about it very carefully. Think before you click. Okay. So there. So going against the norm is something that would be the influence for the wood this month. But again, do not let your emotions take the best of you. Okay. Next for the ye wood, you may experience, I hope you can still hear me. You may experience, all right, okay, so there, you may gain attention from people supporting, not attention, sorry, you may gain ideas or create ideas from the people supporting you because we have eaten God and direct resource. So this could mean that you can actually get in ideas, inspiration from the people around you. Okay, so that actually means that when you're looking for ideas, it's actually best that you surround yourself with the people that are helping you out because they might give you more ideas that can help you, especially in addressing some issues. In addition to that, this is a month for you wherein you are going to learn so much information that you can actually utilize in terms of your career, probably your personal issues or your business. So my advice for the rest of the this month is to maximize the opportunity for you to actually learn new things. And you would notice this probably is that there are so much courses probably that that's being offered to you, or you're sort of they have this inspiration or feeling that I think I should study something. So it's sort of the universe telling you that you should. So make this month a month of knowledge and information because it's going to be very beneficial for you. Okay. All right. So next for the Bing Fire. Bing Fire can be this month can be a little bit more difficult for the Bing Fire Day Master, primarily because we have this Rob Wealth and seven killings. So what does it actually mean? It actually means that there may be a chance wherein they have to actually wherein their power and authority can be reduced or will be taken away from them. Somebody might want to steal this from them or take it from them. Or, yes, that basically is a summary of the rob wealth and the seven killings. Or you can also experience money losses because of lawsuits. Okay, so be mindful of your finances, or better yet, please be careful of the things that you're saying so that this can help you avoid lawsuits or the people that you hang out with. Make sure that you practice due diligence with the people that you surround yourself with to avoid lawsuits or unwanted lawsuits. And in the event that there is competition in terms of your authority, doesn't mean that you shouldn't work anymore. The more you work harder, this is just a temporary bump, okay, in terms of competition. So the more you work harder, the people will actually see how valuable you are in terms of your career. You may also find this month a little bit more emotional. You may feel a little bit more anxious. Again, this is something that's temporary and this is not entirely you. This is just a vibration that you're experiencing for the rest of the month. And at the end of the day, it's something that you can control. All right, for the day fire, okay, day fire may experience sharing authority with family and friends, and or this can also mean that there are changes in relationship in terms of your family and friends or your environment that surrounds your family and friends. Okay, but my advice, if you notice that yes, they may be offering, it's actually best to step up and collaborate with friends and family. Uh, the direct officer and friends can mean that you will have to share responsibility and an authority. So if that actually happens, don't think of it as a competition. Instead, use this opportunity to collaborate and share the responsibility. Okay, so it's good to delegate. It lessens the burden. Okay, and on top of that, it makes your time worthwhile because you spend more time with your friends and your family. Okay, all right. For the Wu Earth, okay, for the Wu Earth, we have direct resource and indirect wealth. There is also seven killings in the hidden stem. What does it mean? It actually means that someone that is probably a nobleman. Direct resource can also represent as a nobleman, may offer you some wealth opportunities, or this can also mean that you may have to learn something new that would bring in wealth in the long run. So if there is something that you've been meaning to study in terms of your skill set or something else, it's best that you actually pursue it. A direct resource also is all about information or knowledge or nobleman. So if somebody offers help or offers you wealth opportunities, say yes and say thank you. Accept them. Accept it with speed at the end of the day, because that's the best way to seize opportunities and not let it pass you by. Right? Okay, so there are some minor issues or stresses that you may experience this month for the Wu Earth, but it's something that you can address. The issues can come from places you didn't expect that would give you problems. So um, since we have direct resource, you can ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help because you have direct resource for the rest of the month. Okay, next for the G Earth. Okay, once again, if you want to ask questions, if you want to clarify the forecast I gave, please give your game master and then your question so I can actually answer your question uh, easily. Okay. All right. Next is the G Earth. G Earth has indirect resource, direct wealth, and direct officer. You may be compelled to actually think out of the box or to think of unorthodox ideas that would get you out or that would help you solve issues in your workplace. Okay, so that's one interpretation for the month of November. Um, may also find this can also mean that you may have difficulty. Okay, in terms of your career, you may have difficulty addressing this issue because again, it's something that's out of the box. And because of the changes in the environment in your workplace, you're compelled to actually look for other ways than your usual way of thinking. So my advice for you not to be stressed about it is to adapt to the changes and to the you have to adapt to the environment that we are in. That's the best way to actually help you solve this issue and not insist that eventually everything will go back to normal. No, it won't. I'll be honest with you. No, it won't. It will never go back to normal. So it's the best way to address this issue is to actually face it and adapt to the challenges. Okay. Next, gang metal. Okay, gang metal has direct officer and eaten god and indirect wealth. So this actually means that you may gain authority and power because of your ideas. The ideas or that you sort of all of a sudden think or some inspiration that probably was entered into your head or was given to you by the universe. It's actually best to share them because of these ideas that will help you gain authority and power. Okay? And in addition to that, if this is a business idea, by all means pursue it because we have indirect wealth in your hidden stems. So this idea will also bring in wealth opportunities. All right. Next. Wait, I'll check if there's question. Question. Ah, thank you. Thank you, Marge. Oh, that's nice. Okay. All right. So Next for sin metal. Okay, for sin metal, we have seven killings, hurting officer, and direct wealth. So what happens is you may find yourself more aggressive this month. Sorry. You may find yourself a little bit more aggressive this month because of the stresses that you may experience this month. And because you're more aggressive, this can also mean that people will notice you, your efforts, and and you may get the attention from others from your efforts or from your this aggressiveness that you're experiencing. Whatever stress that you are actually going through right now, since we have the hurting officer, I am giving you the not I am giving you, but I am sort of telling you right now that since the output star is the counter of the seven killing, it actually means that you can address these issues. It's a matter of knowing who to speak with and who to tap to give you the information that would help you. But all the stresses that you're going through right now is something that you can definitely address because of the hurting officer. It's just a matter of doing something about it or taking the first step. And the fact that you have seven killings, definitely you're more aggressive or you're much more courageous. So do pursue that courage so that you can find the solution that you need for this issues that you are experiencing. Another interpretation is that you may experience, or okay, this is another. There is a lawsuit that can happen, and because of that lawsuit, you can experience attention from others. Okay. All right. So next, for the Ren Water. Okay, work opportunities may come from your family and friends. And if you're currently in sales, if you're in sales and you're looking for leads, the family and friends, don't forget your family and friends to contact them. They might give you opportunities. Or if you're looking for work, this actually means that you tap your family and friends, chat them, Facebook them because they may be able to help you. Okay? All right. Next for Gui Water. Sorry. Gui Water. We have indirect wealth and rob wealth and hurting officer. Interesting because we have indirect wealth in the heaven stem or yeah heavenly stems in terms of the month. Okay, but the thing is we have rob wealth. It's sitting on the rob wealth. So actually, this actually means that you may lose the wealth opportunities if you're not able to move fast, or you may experience competition from this, or someone will want to take this away from you. Okay, so what do you actually do if this is your day master? If this is your day master and there's wealth opportunity, work with speed. Okay, work with speed. Say yes, take the opportunity. And next is to socialize because rob wealth can be translated into socialization. So why not instead of spending money, spend time socializing with your family, your friends, everybody. Okay, all right. So that's it. Any questions? None so far. Okay, good. All right, good because everything is fine. Okay, good because you understood. Okay, good. But if you have any question, please do not hesitate to to ask questions. Okay. Now for the feng shui, we're going to first talk about sorry. Okay, here is the monthly forecast for the month of November. Yes, there. Okay, it's a month of November. So the first sector that we're going to forecast is the north, which has the four and the three. The three is the annual flying star, and for the month is the four. Now, what does it actually means? That there is an opportunity. Not I don't want to say opportunity, but there is something that could happen that can trigger theft, fraud, or yeah, or issues with your employees if you're an entrepreneur. So my advice is it's best to avoid this sector. If your external forms in your north sector is quite bad, it's best to actually avoid the north sector for this month to avoid getting this issue. Okay, all right. And yes, if anybody went through any illness and you're currently situated in this room, it's best to actually transfer because this can actually trigger complications in terms of your health. Okay. Next, we have the East, and for the East sector, we have 6 and 5. If you're currently staying in this sector and the external forms is really bad, there's shaky, there's corners, and so on and so forth. You may feel a little bit more depressed, or some may experience some mental issues, or a little bit more anxious. Okay, especially if the external forms is bad. Or if you are experiencing some chronic migraine, the East sector can staying in this East sector can make you feel this a little bit more. So it's best to actually avoid the East sector. Actually, all throughout 2020, it's best to avoid the East sector because the Flying Star 5 is located in this sector. So avoid activating this sector, especially for this month. Especially this coming November and December when there's too much water. This is not something that we want to actually have as much as possible in this latter part of the year where more issues can happen in terms of global issues, economic downturn. This is something that we wouldn't want to have, wherein our mental capability is hindered, primarily because this stops us from making the right decisions. So if you can actually move out of the East sector just for this month, it's best to actually do that. Okay, for the Northeast sector, we have 2 and 1. The annual star is 1, and then we have the monthly star 2. So the illness star is landing in the sector as the Northeast sector. So avoid this, especially if you've been feeling not so good this past weeks and so on and so forth. So it's best to actually avoid the Northeast sector for this month. Okay, for the next sector. Okay, hold on. Okay, okay, West. All right, now we're going to go to the West. We have 1 and 9. This is actually good for any student, especially if they're trying to, yes, online school. West sector is a good sector to actually activate, primarily because we have 1 and 9 in the West sector for this month. And if you're currently working and you want to be rewarded for all your hard work, all your effort, this West sector is a good sector to activate. So if you've been staying in the West sector for a long time, this could mean that you may notice some recognition at work. People will notice your value in the workplace. All right. Next, for the Southwest sector, we have the 5 and 4. This is not really a good month, especially for the women. There's some issue in terms of gynecological issue, and if you are currently staying in the sector, this can also trigger some money losses, primarily because we have the Flying Star 5, Flying Star 5 in this sector. So if you're currently working in this area, you can move a little bit farther, go to the West sector instead, because that's a good sector to actually activate for the month of November. All right, and then of course for the North sector, for the south, we have the flying star 3 landing in the sector, but the annual star is 2. So if the external form's bad, you may experience legal issue. Flying star 3 can also create legal issues, especially if the external forms are bad. But if it's not, you don't have to worry. Okay? Alright. Next is not southeast. For the southeast sector, we have the 7 and 6. Now 7 and 6 is too much metal. This can actually create more arguments within the household, or you may experience petty issues. So it's best to avoid the southeast sector for the month of November. So there, okay. Or keep the place quiet as much as possible. All right. Next, for the northwest sector, we have the flying star 9 and 8. One of the best sectors actually for the month of November. The northwest sector. This actually 9 is all about happy events. Is all about being our passion at work, okay, or motivation at work. So this is and recognition at work. Recognition and reward is also good for this month for the northwest sector. So if your main door is in the northwest sector, good for you because this is already activated. You don't have to actually stay in the sector well as much because your main door is a good activator already. Okay. Any questions? None. Okay. I'm happy that everything's clear. I was not able to plot for the Keyman chart, so next month I will include the Keyman chart for your Sage mode instead. Uh, I hope I completed everything. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's it. No more questions? None? Okay, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, Miss Marge. I'm so happy to read this. Yes. Okay. All right. So hopefully in my next forecast I'll be able to give you a schedule so you can actually get a reminder in my next month, December, especially next month. I'm really going to do this live because again, December is so much water, and I know what you feel during that month, and sometimes actually feeling it. But I know that I can control it wherein the emotions up and down. So what I do is I just meditate. Every advice I actually give you are based on my experience because the best way for me to give you an advice is through experiencing the solution. So I hope that every advice that I actually give you would help you one way or another. Okay. All right. Okay. So